How's it going, pranksters? Welcome back to another how to sneak food into class video, and just as the title states, I will be showing you 20 creative ways to sneak your favorite snacks and candy into class using everyday school supplies. But before we get started, I want to give a quick shout out to KB Studios, the winner of my last box of snacks giveaway. Now, as far as the giveaways for this video, if this video gets 5,000 likes before the end of September 2019, I will give away a hoverboard to someone in the comments. And if this video gets 50 likes, that's right, 50 likes, I will give away another box of snacks in my next video. To participate in these giveaways, all you have to do is like this video and leave a cool comment below telling me what's your favorite snack to sneak into class. I will choose the winner randomly, so make sure that your comment stands out. Again guys, all it takes to enter this giveaway is a like and a comment. Good luck to all of you who participate. Now let's get started with these hacks. Alright guys, well, for this first one you will need a pencil box such as this one right here. And if I open it, you can clearly see I have a bunch of pencils and pens in there, and that's how it needs to be. So far it looks exactly as what a pencil box should look like. So we are gonna use that to our advantage and sneak some chips into class. For this hack to work, you will need a black piece of construction paper or cardboard paper. This folder will do just fine. I'm going to trace an outline of the pencil box on there. Now we can cut it out with a pair of scissors. You might need to trim off some of the edges, but on one of the longer sides, make a fold about 1/4 of an inch will do. See how it'll fit in perfectly? Before I do attach it to the inside of the pencil box, I'm actually going to tape all the pencils and pens onto the cutout. If you do this, make sure to cover every single inch of the cutout. You can tape other school supplies on there as well. At this point, we can safely attach it onto the pencil box. Just make sure to leave about an inch between the bottom of the pencil box and the cutout. Just use tape right along the fold that we made. Basically, we just created a flap that will open and close as we please. So we can now fill the inside with chips, and my choice of chips will be Hot Cheetos Extra and Takis. See, if I place the flap over them, you can't see the chips anymore. Unfortunately though, this pencil box is see-through, and to avoid having my chips spotted, I'm gonna cover the sides with masking tape. I'm gonna write pencils on it so that they know it's just a pencil box and nothing more. But of course we know, and we can easily resort to it when we start getting hungry during class. Just open, lift, and enjoy. We've all seen something like this, right? This is a crayon box, and inside it contains jumbo crayons, and it's a common school supply that you would find in any class. Well, we are gonna empty this out and start working on the crayons. With a blade, I'm gonna cut off the tips. We really don't need the body of the crayons, so we can get rid of those. I will, however, leave this red crayon intact. Once you have your tips ready, just line them up and use tape to hold them together like I'm doing so right here. As far as the box itself, we are gonna make a cut on one of the lower corners, and at this point you can easily undo the box like this. Well, we are gonna position the tips inside the crayon box right where they would normally go had we not made those cuts. In the big gap between the tips, I'm gonna place a Pop-Tart. As you can see right here, it fits in perfectly. Last but not least, I'll put the red crayon I left intact inside the box as well. The box can be folded back to its original form, and no one will be able to tell anything is wrong with this box. See how easily I can get to my Pop-Tarts during class? If my teacher was to get suspicious for whatever reason, I can prove that this is just a regular box of jumbo crayons. I'll open it up and you can see that the crayons are in there. I'll even pull out one of them just to prove my point. There's just no way that you guys can get caught. When it comes to school supplies, usually the shape and size don't really matter as long as they do their job. So here I have a jumbo pen, which of course you can clearly tell it's pretty huge. So this will be the perfect school supply to help me sneak some candy into class. Let me show you how. First, I'm gonna take it apart. I'll unscrew the tip. This contains the actual ink tube. As far as the top of the pen is just the clicker, which also has a clip on the side. Now, if we take a look at the body of this pen, we can compare it to a tube of M&M's minis. They are the same size, and luckily I was able to find a blue container so it kind of matches the pen color. Basically, we are gonna swap out the body of the pen with the tube of M&M's minis. To be able to do that, we will have to modify the ink tube. Remove any components that aren't necessary and trim it down. We want the pen to still be able to work, it just won't have that clicking function anymore. I'll be using hot glue to attach the tip of the pen to the bottom of the M&M's Minis. As far as the clicker, I will trim it down a bit as well, and I will repeat the process by adding hot glue to attach it to the top of the container. Just make sure that you are still able to open the container with ease. Again, like I said, the pen will still function as it normally would, except that now you can open it and help yourself to some M&Ms. If you choose to do this, remember that you can peel off the label, that way it's less suspicious, but I chose to keep it because it looks pretty cool, don't you think? Once you run out of M&Ms, it doesn't mean that the pen has any purpose anymore, because it will. Just fill the inside with any other candy that you want, such as Reese's Peanut Butter Cups or pretty much anything that will fit inside. You'll never be hungry with this method, guys. I got these 2 coloring books at the dollar store, and even though I will sacrifice one of them, it'll be worth it because I will be able to sneak some snacks into class. I'm gonna make a big cutout on top of the left side of the coloring book. As you can tell by my outline, it will be big enough for my Pop-Tart. I'm using a blade here to make all the cuts. Try to dig deep in there as much as you can till you have removed enough pages, and that way you will have plenty of room for your Pop-Tart. I'll cover up my Pop-Tart with another coloring book, and clear tape will help keep both books together. See guys, if you keep these on top of your desk from a bird's eye view, it'll look normal, but if you were to flip one of the books over, then you'd easily get to your Pop-Tart. I love Mexican candy, and not because it's really good, but also because sometimes they come in weird looking shapes. For example, this one. It has a sucker attached to the top, and inside it has chili powder. So far I like the shape of it, but the wrapper will give it away. So to pass it off as a school supply, I will decorate it with a colorful sticker. I could easily pass this off as a glue bottle. Now it looks more school appropriate, and no one will be able to tell that I have some candy inside. This is quite an easy hack to pull off. In this box I have 24 pencils. All are brand new and are ready to be taken into school. Now most of these pencil boxes look like this. They stand out because you can clearly see inside, and it's obvious it's filled with pencils. So if I open up this box, you can see I have all 24 erasers in there. There's 3 rows of 8 pencils. Well, I'm gonna take out all of the pencils and begin to work on them. 1 row of 8 pencils I will tape together, so I will not be doing much to these, but the rest I will modify. For example, look at this pencil. I drew a line about 1.5 inches from the eraser. That's where I'll be cutting. I only need the eraser part, so I will repeat this process with the rest of the pencils. If you want, you can save the longer pieces of pencil for future use. That way they don't go to waste. As far as the pencil heads, create 2 lines of 8 and tape them together. If you do this right, you will end up with 3 rows. One obviously longer than the other 2. Stack the 2 shorter rows on top of the long one. Make sure all erasers are leveled, and again, we will use clear tape to hold everything in place. And see guys, from this point of view, it looks like I'm holding 3 rows of 8 pencils in my hand. At this point, it looks like we created a raft made out of pencils. Well, on top, I'm gonna place 2 Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, and all I do now is slide the pencils back inside the box. Do this in a way that will hide the peanut butter cups. See guys, even though you can't see inside the pencil box, there's no way anyone would suspect that there's some candy inside. By opening the box, I can easily slide out my candy and enjoy it in class. Here's another pencil method that you can use to sneak some candy into class. Here I have a regular looking pencil. It has a blue cushion and an orange eraser cap. Well, I'm gonna dress up this pencil with more accessories. I'm gonna pass off a bunch of pixie straws as decorations for my pencil. If you do this, you'll have to trim off the tips, then line them up and hold them together with tape. The amount of straws will vary depending on the size of your pencil. See, if I wrap them around my pencil from far away, it'll look like a decoration more than anything. When I start craving sugar, all I have to do is flip over the pencil. Simple as that, guys. Here I have a tin can that I got at the local dollar store. It was in the school supplies aisle. I thought it was perfect to sneak some candy into class, and the way we are gonna do this is very easy and very clever. My choice of candy for this will be more Mexican candy. For example, this one. If you push the bottom piece into the top piece, it will cause more candy to come out through the top. So what we can do here is tape the whole container onto the bottom of the lid so the candy will hang upside down when we put the lid back on the tin can. See, there's nothing suspicious about this, but when you want to get some candy, just remove the lid and push down to enjoy your spicy Mexican candy. You can easily put it back if you sense the teacher is coming your way. For this hack, you are gonna take the largest glue bottle that you can find, as we are gonna attempt to sneak a juice pouch into class. The setup is quite simple. If the bottle of glue is full, then you'll have to empty it out. It's best if you do that on a Ziploc bag, that way the glue does not go to waste. The next thing we're gonna do is rinse out the bottle and cap. With a cutting tool, you can remove the bottom of the bottle. Try to be careful when doing this though. Now we have clear access to the inside of the bottle, and this bottle is the perfect size to house a juice pouch. It'll be a bit snug, but you can definitely get the pouch in there. From the top of the bottle, you can clearly see the opening where the straw normally goes through, so pierce it with the straw. Now again, make sure that you did a good job at rinsing the cap, as we are gonna put the other end of the straw through it. This will allow us to sip straight from the juice pouch. Make sure you twist on the cap tightly, and that's it guys. Just keep the bottle handy on your desk, and when you get thirsty, you can easily take a sip from your juice pouch. Here I have two identical boxes of crayons, and they are the same size. So what I'm gonna do is empty out both boxes, as we are gonna sneak some chips into class using these boxes. Once both boxes are empty, with a blade, start to cut out one of the sides on each box. For example, here I'm cutting on the right side of this box. As far as the other box, I will cut from the left side. At this point, they should look like this. Place them side by side with both sides where we made the cutouts touching. Flip them over, and on the back, place a clear piece of tape to attach both boxes together. Now we can maneuver both boxes in such a way that will give us easy access to the inside. So now it's time to bring out the chips and start filling up the boxes with them. One box will contain Takis, as you can see right here. The other box will contain my favorite chips, Hot Cheetos Extra. Close both boxes together and put them inside a supplies box. Keep them handy, and when you get a craving for chips, you will have two kinds of chips to choose from. I really like this hack as it's not really noticeable. And here's another way you can do something similar with two crayon boxes, but this time I want to sneak some candy into class. Let's repeat the same steps. Take two boxes of crayons and empty them out, as you don't need the crayons for this hack. Instead of making the cutouts on the sides, this time we will make them on the back. The size of the cutouts is up to you, but follow my example and you should be just fine. Here are my two boxes guys, and again, to attach them together we will need some clear tape. This time you will place it on the sides so these crayon boxes will open like a book. Inside of each box, tape a magnet on, and that way when they join together they will keep the boxes shut. One box will contain some Jolly Ranchers and the other box will have some sweet tarts. Just keep them handy and you will easily get to your sweets during class. Here's another easy one guys. Take a large spiral notebook, just use the spiral as a secret compartment, and my choice of snack for this example will be a Go-Gurt. Simply slide it inside the spiral, and yes guys, it looks pretty obvious, so to make it less suspicious, just flip some pages back, but make sure that they hide the Go-Gurt so it won't be easily spotted. So when you get a chance, enjoy your yogurt. If you have a book like this one, it can be the perfect hiding spot for some candy. Open it up and undo the label. I'm choosing to hide some flat Mexican candy between the book hardcover and the label. Get creative with this, just make sure your candy is not visible. Results vary with this one depending on the thickness of the candy that you want to sneak into class. Here's another box of jumbo crayons guys, and we're gonna do something similar we did earlier, except that this time we only need to trim off the bottom tips. Now get yourself some construction paper, as we are gonna try to recreate the bodies of these crayons, so try to match the color if possible. Once you have the right measurements, make your cutouts from the construction paper and wrap it around the crayon tips. Use clear tape to keep everything in place. Basically, we are creating hollow crayons where we can store some candy, or for this example, chips. Just put them inside and that's it. If you make a lot of these crayons, you will be able to have your chips at your disposal while in class. Just open up the bottom of the crayon box. Moving on to more Mexican candy, Here we have some Lucas powder, and it's inside a small container, and it's pretty obvious that it's candy. So a good way to sneak this into class is to get yourself a small glue stick. Just like we have done time and time again, we are gonna remove the actual glue to make room for our candy. I strongly recommend though that you clean the container thoroughly to avoid having any sticky candy. Once filled completely, just cover it up with the cap and that's it. If you're in need of some candy while in class, just open up the glue stick. On the off chance that your teacher lets you wear beanies in class, this one will come in handy. I'm sure you might be able to get away with this during winter. Just make up an excuse that you need to keep your ears warm at all times. Anyway, if you are able to wear your beanie in class, then you can easily hide candy such as chocolate bars on the fold of your beanie. Just tuck them in and you should be okay for the day. You'll have fast access to your candy for sure. You can use a gift box to sneak some food into class, whether it's your birthday or maybe it's Christmas. As long as you have a gift box, you can do the following. Open it up and inside you can place some Lunchables. This box was the perfect size for this, as the Lunchables just rest on top without going all the way in. If you trim off the edges with scissors, you should be able to hide your Lunchables with the gift box cover. If you keep the box on top of your desk, you can eat your Lunchables while class is in session. Here I have a can of adhesive spray. I got this at the dollar store, so it wasn't super expensive. Basically what we're gonna do here is create a secret compartment within. There's plenty of room inside the cap, but safety first guys, so let's remove the nozzle and block off the tube with tape so our candy remains clean and glue free. I'm going to fill the cap with some M&M's minis, about halfway will do. While the can is upside down, I'll pop it into the cap. See, it wasn't so hard, right? Once you get hungry and you want to retrieve your candy, just flip the can upside down and open it. If you don't flip it upside down before you open it, you could end up with a messy desk and possibly detention if you get caught. This next method works with nerds or smarties. These are similar to sweet tarts but smaller. Just take a stapler, which happens to be a school supply, and open it. Remove all the staples and replace them with some candy. Close it up and that's it. No one will know that there's candy in there until they try to use the stapler. Again, you can also sneak some nerds using the same method. Pretty much this works with any miniature candy. Lastly guys, we are gonna sneak more M&Ms into class using a jumbo eraser, but it will take some prepping to pull this off. Start by cutting off both ends of the eraser. About an inch from each end will work just fine. For this to work, it's best if you get a box of M&Ms and not the bag, as you will need to empty out the box because we will be modifying it. So once you have removed the M&Ms, undo the box and turn it inside out. Using the large cutout of the eraser, make an outline on the box and cut it off with some scissors. At this point, it's time to start rebuilding the eraser. Wrap the box around one end of the eraser, make sure it's tightly on. You can reinforce it with some tape. Now you can begin filling the middle with some M&Ms, but make sure to leave enough space so we are able to place the other end of the eraser on. To some, this eraser might look a little weird, but in reality it's pretty common to have a wrapper around the eraser. Just look at these. No one will be able to suspect anything, and when your sweet tooth starts to crave sugar, you know you'll have plenty within the eraser, just pop it open. There you guys have it, 20 creative ways that you guys can sneak your favorite snacks and candy into class using the most common of school supplies. Hopefully these come in handy to you guys, that way you don't starve while trying to learn at school. Just a reminder, I do have 2 giveaways going on for this video for those of you who are interested in entering. The first one is a box of snacks, and that giveaway starts once this video hits 50 likes. Well, the second giveaway begins once this video gets 5,000 likes before September 30th, 2019, and that winner will get a brand new hoverboard. To enter these giveaways, all you have to do is like this video and leave a cool comment below. One last thing guys, please subscribe and have your notifications on, that way you will know sooner whether you won or not. Good luck pranksters, I will see you guys in my next video.